Later today, the Senate is set to vote for a ninth time on a short-term spending bill as the government shutdown stretches into its third week. The vote is expected to fail yet again, as Republicans and Democrats have yet to make ground toward reaching any kind of deal. Joining us now, Chris Doles, co-executive director of the Federal Unionist Network that represents union workers. Chris, thanks so much for being with us in studio here. This is stretching into possibly its third week. What are you hearing from federal workers? How are they feeling in this moment?
I mean, I help run an organization that specializes in organizing federal workers, federal unionists in particular, to stand up for our rights. So it's not surprising that I'm hearing federal workers who want to finally take the fight back against this administration and turn this shutdown into a showdown against the billionaire interests behind this administration. But what's interesting is that I'm not just hearing that. Senator Hickenlooper, other members of Congress are hearing that, surprisingly, large numbers, even as many as even majorities in some cases, are reporting that the federal workers they're hearing from are mostly interested in holding the line, because we've been the victims of a political attack all year long. This administration has been shutting down the government piece by piece since January. The shutdown didn't start on October 1st. This administration has been committed to, in the words of one of their icons, Grover Norquist, drowning the federal government in a bathtub. This is their ideology. Russell Vought is the main person executing this. But ultimately, federal workers, large numbers of federal workers, are actually welcoming this as a fight, because this administration wants to shut down every aspect of the government that serves regular people's interests permanently.
And they do that at great financial peril to themselves. The Bipartisan Policy Center finds that if the shutdown lasts through October, that 1.8 million paychecks will be withheld from civilian employees of the federal agencies. Talk a little bit about, I know you said that they're dug in here and they're ready to hold the line, but what does that mean for them in their everyday life?
Look, the law is very clear. We're going to get that pay. We won the sympathies of not just the American people, but also of Congress back in 2019. And Congress passed a law and Trump signed it. We're going to get that back pay. And yes, we've heard the threats that they will withhold it. To me, those threats, a blatant threat to ignore a law that Trump himself signed, make it all the more important that we hold the line, because it shows who we're dealing with. We're somebody who has absolutely no respect for the law, no respect for the civil service, somebody who wants to politicize the civil service, just like they want to politicize the tariffs in Argentina, like your last guest discussed. This is an administration that is completely committed to consolidating power in the hands of one person. And it's so scary and so bad that federal workers are ready to uphold our oath and stand up for the Constitution, even if it means missing some paychecks.
Yeah, I was going to say, so even with, taking into account President Trump's threats to make some of these furloughs permanent, to make deeper and deeper cuts, what would you advise lawmakers? If you could talk to lawmakers out there, what would you say they should do?
I mean, Congress has to stand up for its role. The power of the purse rests with Congress. This president is trying to take it away. If Congress won't stand up for their own institution, well, then the American people and federal workers who swore an oath to defend the Constitution will do it. And I think we need to have an honest conversation about Russell Vought right now, because Trump says that everything he's doing is, part of his mandate. But Trump said before he got elected that he knew nothing about Project 2025, and now he is completely implementing Project 2025 and has put in charge of the federal civil service the very person who wrote that.
And we know that President Trump has found $8 billion to try to compensate for some of the military families, servicemen and women who need to get their paychecks. But there, of course, are other government employees who are going without pay, air traffic controllers. We're hearing about Capitol Police who aren't getting their paychecks now. What's your word on sort of balancing the need, of course, to pay our military servicemen and women? They deserve it. Finding that way to deflect from the current crisis, but also trying to find a full-fledged agreement here.
I mean, this is just further evidence of the politicization of the civil service and the military, for that matter. The way that he's paying the military is probably illegal. Maybe it's a good thing because military personnel shouldn't miss paychecks, but it's probably illegal. Just more illegal actions by this administration to cover one flank and fight on another. I think that the pain that all federal workers have been feeling all year long and will continue to feel for a long time ultimately shows that this administration is willing to politicize the civil service and wield whatever tools they have to immiserate us. Russell Vought said that his purpose is to traumatize federal workers. This is the man who's running this strategy right now. at the OMB. And federal workers are about to face health premiums going up as much. A majority of the 1% raise we're expecting next year is going to go towards health premiums. The same exact concerns that all Americans face if Congress doesn't hold the line and stop the Trump administration from consolidating more and more power in this moment.
And of course, the legality of all of these moves is under scrutiny right now. Thank you so much, Chris Doles, for spending time with us. We appreciate it.
If I may, just folks who want to help federal workers right now can join the movement by going to savepublicservices.com and join the federal workers who are on the front lines fighting for our democracy.
Chris Doles, thank you very much.